Hello, Fiona here. I'd like to tell you about being a highly sensitive person and something that I've noticed today. I knew this intellectually, but with this experience of being in self-isolation, I really noticed how the environment affects my central nervous system and how that is happening independent of whatever's going on in my mind, whatever I may be thinking, or whatever I may be feeling, if I'm feeling relaxed or calm or okay. And yet my physiology, being a highly sensitive person, gets aroused at a much lower level than the normal person. So what this means is a noise that might happen that would kind of make people go, oh look, there's a noise. For a highly sensitive person, it may actually literally get them to jump out of their skin because of their central nervous system gets aroused at a much lower level than the normal population. So why is this important, and why has it come to me today? Because I've been in self-isolation. Today is day 10, woohoo, which I'm really happy about. And some days, being in England, I've had to stay in. Well, not had to, but I've chosen to stay in the house and only come out for a quick walk or something because it's been raining. And I'm in my parents' house. I live part-time in the UK and I live part-time in the Algarve in Portugal. Now, my home in the Algarve in Portugal, I live in the middle of nowhere. I live in the middle of the countryside. I live on a piece of land with other people. We each have our own dwellings. We have 3 hectares and we have gardens. And I can quite happily stay at home in these 3 hectares of land and walk around and play with my dog and do gardening and do land work and be in my element. There's birds singing. Okay, there's noise sometimes from the neighbours, but the neighbours are not right next door like they are here with my mum and dad. They're a 2 to 5 to 10 minute walk away depending on what direction I go in. So actually they're probably at least a 5-minute walk away from where I live. So my life is very different here. And when I live in the UK, I don't normally live with my parents. I just came for a quick visit because I hadn't seen them for 18 months due to the pandemic. So the reason why this is kind of amazed me is because I really do know that we live in the experience of our thinking. And that is a truth in life. And today when I realised that the reason why I've had cold sores and the reason, I've started my period. I haven't had a proper period in a year, and I started my period, and it's a proper period, I'm bleeding every day and everything else. So my physiology is really being affected. My nervous system is really being affected by what's happening, and it's having its own response to it. Cold sores, my period starting, and these are probably a stress reaction. And I don't feel stressed inside of me. And, sometimes, yes, anxious thoughts come. And then I just sit and I wait for wisdom to return to quiet. And I'm not into positive thinking, so I'm not trying to make myself think anything or feel anything. I am just with myself and seeing what happens. So the takeaway I'm taking from this is that it's a really good idea for me to be more mindful. Like when I got a cold sore, I thought, okay, my body's releasing stress. And there's more to this story. Before I came to England 2 or 3 weeks ago, there was a fire on the land I live on, and that was very stressful. And my nervous system was really reacting, even though my mind was pretty clear and doing what it needed to do. And so I felt this discharging from my nervous system. I felt the fire discharging from my nervous system. And yet I hadn't actually appreciated that living in a different environment, the noise level is different, the proximity to other people is different, the fact that I can't go out, I can't go for walks, I can't spend long periods of time by myself outside of the environment that everyone else is in. It's had an effect on me, and being a highly sensitive person, maybe it's had a different effect than it would be if the person wasn't highly sensitive. And because I know I live in the experience of my thinking, when my thinking goes "Arr!" about it, I don't get involved with that. I don't act out that thinking, because that's my choice. I don't have to do that. So what I'm going to do differently is I am just going to make sure that when the TV is too noisy, or when something is happening and it's too much for my nervous system, then I'm actually going to just take time away, like something I would normally do without even thinking about it. I guess I just haven't been doing that because I've just been here with things the way they are. But actually, it's good to notice that I am a highly sensitive person and my nervous system does get affected, and therefore I can take myself off, and that's okay. Now, I don't feel a victim in this at all. It's just good that I've noticed it, and now I can bring more awareness to it. So take care. Tell me what you think.